Open session public meetings are subject to being videotaped. Your image and voice may be recorded. Okay. First, minutes. We have the minutes of open session on November 10th. This was our personnel meeting. This is accurate. I would just note that there were a couple of things that looks like we have to pull back. The ones that you noted.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right. They were
Okay.
accurate at the time.
Yeah, so the minutes are accurate, I think, at the time. So motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Any further comments or questions?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have a special state election warrant. This is for the senator in general court for Worcester and Middlesex District. It is for Tuesday, the 5th of December, so people who are watching this at home, mark it on your calendars to vote. So this is to execute the warrant for that special election. I take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Nope.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, this is the 13th day. And Tom, while we're signing this, you saw my last response when that lawyer came back with a question?
Yep, absolutely.
It was fine.
Yep.
I actually sort of wanted to give them a choice to see how they choose it, to
Yeah.
approach it.
Right. And I actually responded to his public records request today, so
Yeah.
we'll see. And he did respond to that email, but to me, but other than that, I haven't heard anything.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we may have to go for something more formal, like an affidavit or something eventually,
Right.
but we'll see what happens. Okay, we have, and I just note we're starting this at 7:15 because that's the appointed time, so in case somebody wants to show up, all right. So the next we have reappointments to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Kevin Diggins and James Royer, both terms to run through November 30th, 2020. I take a motion to approve those two appointments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I've been attending the ZBA meetings. They both do a great job.
I would ditto that and thank them for being willing to be reappointed.
Yes.
Other comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go, those are for you.
That's for Lisa too.
Yep, those are for you too. Updates on the Town Hall elevator project. As we've seen from the emails, we're in the process of getting the invoice paid so that they can schedule it. I did send them an email saying, please move it along as quickly as possible. We were moving along the payments as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
We did have a construction meeting last Wednesday. Walked around. Things are looking, really good.
Good.
Assabet was supposed to start today. I don't know if they started, given the weather and everything, but they're supposed to start today. If they haven't, it'll be, in the next day or so. They were all set for being able to procure building materials from National Lumber. Because of some design changes to the project that they were working on in Northborough. It appears as though instead of simply boxing in the first floor and covering it so that the pad and the foundation weren't exposed, it appears as though they will be able to do, the entire outer frame of the building and get a roof on it, and then put Tyvek or some way, whether it's not Tyvek, but it's something else that they put around it. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
and then then they will probably not get back to it until maybe even the fall of next year. But
Okay.
Historical understands that, and we have a reasonably stable storage for things, so that's where we are with that.
And the meeting this week is at 1 o'clock, I believe.
It is.
So I am available. I will
Yep.
attend, just
Yeah, that would be great.
see if
Thank
there's
you.
anybody, see if there's anything new.
Yep.
Okay.
As I say, I am available, via email, so if something comes up, if you have a question or whatever, I can
Okay.
take care of that.
All right.
All right. The Treasurer Collector Organizational Meeting, has that been bound?
I guess
Bumped?
it's not
Been
been
moved.
posted,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have
Oh,
to come up
okay.
with another
Okay,
date.
okay.
Um,
Well, once we get past Thanksgiving week, I'm pretty
Yeah, do you wanna
flexible as
wait till
well.
after Thanksgiving?
That's fine, however you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I talked to June, she wasn't really enthusiastic about doing a vacation, doing it then. And then later on, she sent a note around saying she wanted to take Wednesday and Friday off, so that
Right.
then I understood it, because,
And when is
She's-
Richard in here? Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something?
don't know
I don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
Wednesday seemed to work for everyone,
Yeah.
but just not this Wednesday.
Yeah, and Wednesdays are generally good for me because I try to work from home, so I can go to
Right.
that meeting, and so I can
Okay.
do something with that as well.
All right.
I actually do have an update. I actually saw Representative Naughton at an event I was at, and he said that it should be out of the House next week. We currently don't have a senator, but he's going to try to get one of the others to bring it to the Senate floor.
Okay.
But either way, it's moving forward, and he's
Great.
pushing on it. So.
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
That may be the update we needed.
All right. Just looking to- I can try to send an email tomorrow. We need to get town council's
Yes.
response. I mean, that's getting to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is on the special town meeting warrant.
Yeah, Mary sent another one today, but I still didn't see a response.
Okay.
It went out pretty late though too.
Yeah.
All right, that's good, because then this evening when I go home, what I can do is I can respond to all and echo
Yeah.
the all right. Let's see. For having training in by town council on the open meeting law and the public records law.
Mm-hmm.
The Thursday dates are the 11th, the 18th, or the 25th. You want to try for the 18th?
I think all of them worked for me, so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
the 18th.
This was January, right?
Yes, January.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It was the evening, right?
Evening, yes.
Okay.
We're going to put that around particularly if department heads are interested, for instance, in public records, but not so much on open meeting law. And we have that kind of attendance, we could do the public records portion first, so people don't have to sit through the other. Okay? So that'll be the 18th, pending final confirmation. All right, and then finally, we'll just try to get this out of the way. We're almost to
Can we
the,
also make sure that maybe can that be taped? And
Yeah, we
posted?
could
Yeah.
request it.
sure,
Okay, because there were some questions on that.
yeah. Be really exciting stuff. Yeah, all right. We have a building permit application for the curatorial building. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okey-doke. And then people looked at the issue with respect to the planting of trees, and I was happy with that letter. Were you?
Yes.
Okay. So motion to issue the letter regarding the planting of trees at the gas station on the right of Central Street, just before you get to 495.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments or questions?
No?
Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go. And we have one more thing, so we'll just try to do this before we go into the other. This is a motion to post the scanned copy of the 2016 annual town report. We had discussed this at our Saturday meeting, and I think we were all in favor. We don't see any issues because this is just a scanned image of exactly the physical document. So I would accept a motion to approve.
Excuse me, can we include, he intends to do as far back as he can? Can we sort of include any others that he does so that we don't have to?
Yes, that would be fine. I would accept a motion then to post this to the town website, and to post any other documents that are, any other town reports that are scanned documents.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Just
Nope.
thank you so much to James Wheeler for doing that.
Yes.
Indeed. Hearing no other comments or questions, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And now we will move to the main event of the evening, which is a presentation by CMRPC regarding the Berlin Hazard Mitigation Plan.
So, my name is Derek Matthew. I'm an assistant planner, and I'm filling in for Adam tonight.
Before we start this, would it be valuable if we move this microphone over there? Is he picking it up?
I believe
It's that one. Okay. I just,
Speak louder.
no, that's fine. We just want to, it's good? Say something.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. I just wanted to be sure that if we were doing this, that it wasn't sort of mumbling, you know,
Yeah.
from stage right, off stage. Anyway, okay, thanks. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm here to give an update on the Berlin Hazard Mitigation Plan update. You know, Berlin already has a hazard mitigation plan. It's part of a regional plan with 27 other towns, and they need to be updated every 5 years. And with this update, we're transitioning from a regional plan to an individual plan for a few different reasons, not the least of which is that it'll enable you to have a full 5 years of grant funding once the plan is formally adopted by you and approved by FEMA. But that's later. This is just an update. So the purpose of hazard mitigation plans are to access funding from FEMA. There's three main programs: the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, the Flood Mitigation Grant Program, and the Pre-Disaster Mitigation Grant Program. The only one that you can apply for before a disaster happens is the Pre-Disaster Mitigation Grant Program, but that one is nationally competitive, so it's harder to get funding. So more likely, you would wait until the state of Massachusetts declares a disaster, and then you would be able to access the other two grant programs. So the regional plan that I was talking about before is set to expire next year.
Okay.
And this is a natural hazard mitigation grant program. We do have workshops on chemical safety, but this plan is looking at flooding and hurricanes and snow and droughts and fires and all that fun stuff. So hazard mitigation is trying to prevent the loss of life, injury, property from natural hazards. We're trying to take stock of what we can do now to reduce the impacts of hazards. And this is important because it saves money in the long term. The Multi-Hazard Mitigation Council found that for every $1 spent on mitigation efforts, it saves society $4 in response costs. So pretty simply, it's just breaking the cycle of disaster, rebuild, and disaster and rebuild. So Adam, with the hazard mitigation planning team, which can be seen on the one-page handout under local partners. They're developing mitigation strategy. It's on the front, 3/4 of the way down the sheet. Chief Paul,
Chief Z.
Chief Z. Mary Orada, Keith Clemmer, Chief Tom Galvin, and Lisa Wasowski.
Yeah, and I would just point out, these are partners in Berlin and not West
I
Boylston.
already did.
You already did, all right.
I told him I'm going to email Adam tomorrow. and give him-
Absolutely, yeah. Give him a smack. All right.
So these categories, these 4 categories, are what the mitigation strategies that the local planning team is developing will fall under. So the first one, structure and infrastructure projects, those are the brick and mortar projects. They're usually the most expensive, but also the most effective. Preparedness, coordination, and response actions. They deal with other evaluations you can do, like dam safety and repairs, but also other systems that help effectively administer hazard mitigation. Education and awareness programs try to educate the public for their own knowledge and resiliency. These are usually the lowest cost, but less effective. And the last category, local plans and regulations. These are other plans to look at or to engage with, and other regulations that you might consider adopting to help protect the public from further natural hazard effects.
Yeah, for instance, we already have floodplain zoning and stuff like
Right.
that, and that's the sort of thing that fits in that category.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, a couple examples of each category. The first category, structure and infrastructure projects. Things like culverts, dams, storm drainage, pumping facilities, preparedness and response actions. The National Flood Insurance Program is something that a lot of our communities engage with. Evacuation planning, which we're already engaged with Berlin. The community rating system, and to further facilitate, administer, enforce, and collaborate about natural hazard mitigation. Education and awareness, there's plenty of resources online, and the hope is to have this information at public venues, libraries, schools, mailing it to residents, and public outreach at community events. And the last category, local plans and regulations. This looks at different planning and zoning actions you can take. Wetland bylaws, as you said, a lot of this is already in place for Berlin. The planning process is that Adam, myself, others at CMRPC with the hazard mitigation planning team of Berlin has taken stock of all the critical infrastructure and facilities in the town, all the instances of natural hazards that we can derive from state data as well as local knowledge, and we see which ones intersect, so which critical infrastructure are vulnerable to hazards, and then we can develop mitigation strategies for those instances. So this is the first public meeting, and from here on, we're going to be finalizing the plan, making sure the local team is happy with it. After that, we can send it to MEMA, make sure they're happy with it, and then FEMA, and then we'll be back for a second presentation for asking for your adoption of this plan.
Okay.
So again, we just take stock of the critical facilities, the hazards, see which ones intersect, develop mitigation measures for those, and gather feedback from the public. Critical infrastructures include, well, you know, the town hall, police and fire station, places of assembly, also the dams and pump stations and any communication equipment, radio repeaters and cell phone towers. And so, like I said, we use some state and federal data, but we're looking to the hazard mitigation planning team to report the instances of hazards, and this is where the public can help out a lot too. Some of the information we've gathered, geologic wind and snow data. There's some hurricanes that have affected the area, some snowstorms. For Berlin, we found that snow drifting is of particular concern. It's requiring a lot of snow fences to be erected and cleaned periodically. There's a history of microbursts in higher elevations around town. There's hazards associated with Wheeler Pond Dam, wildfires at Mount Pisgah, and shallow fire ponds. As I said, we are soliciting feedback from the public. So we developed a survey and we asked the town to post this, and we've gotten some responses. The existing mitigation measures that Berlin is already engaging in fall under a number of categories. You have a comprehensive emergency management plan, you follow state building code regulations, various flood-related measures, dam construction and dam safety measures, tree trimming program, salting of roads. Nothing too big. So we're trying to identify the gaps, what actions can further reduce vulnerabilities, and what are your town's priorities. So some of the mitigation measures that we've come up with so far are an emphasis on annual tree trimming, reducing power outages, reducing the need for heating and cooling stations. Properly clean the stormwater basins, update the open space and recreation plan next year to include some of these goals, and like I said before, just repair, replace, install snow fences. So once the draft plan is accepted by the local team, then we send it on to MEMA, make sure their checklist is completed, send it off to FEMA, and once they give the approval, we'll come back to you all and ask for a formal resolution to adopt the plan. And once that happens, then you'll have 5 more years of the 3 grant programs I mentioned before. Once the plan is adopted, there's an emphasis on implementation because a plan up on the shelf is no help. We'd like to integrate the plan's recommendations with other local plans, like the open space and recreation plan, but any other plans you're engaged in, and to continually look for, seek, and implement funding sources. And again, the plan has to be updated every 5 years. The draft plan is available on our website, and you can send any comments to Adam, myself, or Trish. If you need any of our contact information, I can get that to you. Adam's email is up on the screen, and I have a card if you need. But I'll be happy to take questions if you have them.
No, I mean, I think at this stage, it is what it is, yeah. From my point of view.
Well, I've sat in on the meeting, so yeah.
Okay.
Nice job, though.
Okay.
Nice job on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything from the floor?
we've been at all the meetings too, so.
I think,
Yeah.
speaking from past experiences with this type of process, we did extremely well and pretty quickly. I think your group would say as well that we expedited this process. We had very few meetings to do it. We did a lot of work in the background, working together, the department heads working together to get all the information needed for the plan so that we could reduce the number of meetings we had, so that we could expedite this. So thank you to the department heads for all the cooperation and working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would like to thank all of you for being at those meetings, so thanks very much. So we will look for an update then sometime during the winter, is that?
Yep.
Okay,
Great.
wonderful. Thank you very much. All right. So we continue to move along here. Selectmen's update for my part. My update was the update on the 1870 Town Hall stuff.
Had a pretty quiet week.
Quiet week in Lake Wobegon, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like the first IT committee meeting will be on December 6th,
Yay.
Wednesday, because everybody has to meet on Wednesday.
There you go.
Yeah, other than
I
that.
really think
there
you ought
was-
to consider calling it the Berlin Information Technology
I was,
Committee.
yeah, I was gonna
Bit
pass
committee.
Okay.
the bit thing by them. 'Cause
All right.
It's kind of covered. And then I saw an Access GIS demo Molly had a
Oh,
software
good.
company in to look at potentially something to help in the assessor's office.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's all she wrote. All right, anything else to come before the meeting?
I will be meeting with Assabet tomorrow morning at 11, just
Okay,
to get an update on the budget for FY19, and I'll fill you in after that.
okay. Excellent.
That's about it.
Anything from the floor? All right,
Back to CPR class.
all right.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
I would not object to that.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.